There are around 50 Muslim-majority countries in the world. Today in this video, we are going to show you the top 5 most powerful Muslim-majority countries in terms of military in the world. Let's get started. Number 5. Saudi Arabia. First, let's see the manpower of Saudi Arabian Armed Forces. The Saudi Arabian Armed Forces at present has around 480,000 active military personnel and has around 325,000 reserve military personnel. The Saudi Arabian Armed Forces spends around $68 billion on its military and is the third largest in terms of military spending in the world. Although large in size in terms of manpower and defense budget, Saudi Arabia still largely depends on foreign imports for its military hardware, mostly from the United States. Now, let's see the land power. The Saudi Arabian Armed Forces has around 1,050 tanks, over 3,800 armored fighting vehicles, over 700 self-propelled artillery, and nearly 120 multi-launched rocket systems. Now, coming to the air power of Saudi Arabian Armed Forces. The Saudi Arabian Armed Forces has around 920 manned aircraft, of which 370 plus are fighter jets and over 300 are helicopters. F-15 Eurofighter Typhoons and Panavia Tornado are the main fighter jets of Saudi Arabian Armed Forces. Naval power. The Saudi Arabian Navy at present has 7 frigates, 4 corvettes, and a few patrol boats. At present, the Saudi Arabian Navy doesn't have any submarines, destroyers, or aircraft carriers. Number 4. Iran. Manpower. At present, the Iranian Armed Forces have over 520,000 active military personnel and have around 350,000 reserved military personnel. Now, coming to the defense budget of the Iranian Armed Forces, the Iranian Armed Forces spends around $20 billion. Along with indigenously built weapons, its current military equipment also includes Russian and American weapons in large number. Now, let's see the land power. The Iranian Armed Forces at present have around 1,600 main battle tanks, over 2,000 armored fighting vehicles, over 550 self-propelled artillery, and approximately 700 plus multi-launch rocket system. Air power. The Iranian Armed Forces at present have over 850 military aircraft, out of which nearly 130 are fighter jets and over 120 are helicopters. F-14 Tomcat, MiG-29, Mirage F-1, and indigenously built Hessa Kausar are the main fighting jets of Iranian Air Force at the moment. Naval power. The Iranian Navy maintains around 33 submarines, although most of the submarines are of small to midget size. In addition to this, the Iranian Navy has 6 frigates, 3 corvettes, and many patrol boats. The Iranian Navy currently doesn't have any destroyers or aircraft carriers. Number 3. Egypt. The Egyptian Armed Forces at present has around 440,000 active military personnel and 480,000 reserve military personnel, and spends around $11 billion on its military. Land power. The Egyptian Armed Forces currently has around 3,800 main battle tanks, over 6,000 armored fighting vehicles, nearly 800 self-propelled artillery, around 1,000 multi-launch rocket system in its inventory. Air power. The Egyptian Armed Forces at present has around 1,130 manned aircraft, of which around 270 are multi-role fighter jets and around 300 are helicopters. F-16, Dassault Rafale, MiG-29, and Mirage 2000 are the main fighter jets of the Egyptian Air Force. Naval power. The Egyptian Navy is one of the largest in the Middle East region and Africa. Its naval fleet currently consists of 2 helicopter carriers, 8 submarines, 7 frigates, 7 corvettes, and many subsidiary ships and patrol boats. Number 2. Pakistan. Pakistan is the only country known to possess nuclear weapons among the Muslim-majority countries. The Pakistan Armed Forces at present has around 653,000 active military personnel and has a defense budget of around $12 billion. Land power. The Pakistani Armed Forces has around 2,200 main battle tanks, over 3,600 armored fighting vehicles, around 420 self-propelled artillery, and over 130 multi-launch rocket system in its inventory. Air power. The Pakistani Armed Forces at present has around 1,340 manned aircraft, of which 390 plus are fighter jets and 320 plus are helicopters. Currently, F-16 and JF-17 are the main modern fighter jets of Pakistani Air Force. Naval power. The Pakistani naval fleet currently has 5 submarines, 9 frigates, and many other patrol boats and subsidiary ships. The Pakistani Navy currently doesn't have any destroyers or aircraft carriers. Number 1. Turkey. The Turkish Armed Forces at present has around 355,000 active military personnel and 378,000 reserve military personnel. Defense budget of Turkey stands at around $19 billion. Land power. The Turkish Armed Forces currently has around 2,500 main battle tanks, over 7,000 armored fighting vehicles, over 1,100 self-propelled artillery, and 300 plus multi-launch rocket system in its inventory. Air power. The Turkish Armed Forces currently maintains around 1,050 aircraft, of which around 240 are fighter jets and over 500 are helicopters. Currently, F-16 is the only main fighter jets of Turkish Armed Forces. Naval power. The Turkish Navy presently has around 190 ships in commission. Its naval fleet currently includes 16 frigates, 10 corvettes, 12 submarines. The Turkish Navy currently doesn't have any destroyer and aircraft carriers. Thanks for watching.